The day that everyone has been waiting for is finally here. Apple's iPad shipped yesterday on April 2nd, and we bought one in New York City on 5th Avenue. At first impression, this is a very impressive device. The screen is very high quality, high resolution. Watching videos, browsing the web, all of that stuff is really great on the iPad. My biggest problem with it is that it's heavy. It weighs 1.5 pounds. And while that may not seem like a lot, after even just 3 minutes of holding it with your single hand, it gets heavy. And then you don't really know what to do with it. Do you lay it on your lap? Do you hold it with 2 hands? Do you try to hold it with 1 hand and scroll with the other? It's just a little bit cumbersome. I think if you're sitting down casually on your sofa, reading through a newspaper, it's fine, but in terms of a high-use device, I think this is a little bit limited. One of the things the publishing industry has been waiting for is the launch of the iBook app on the iPad. Like everything Apple does, it's very pretty. It's very clean, very easy to navigate, easy to scroll through. There are a couple of setbacks. The first is that the selection is not very big yet, which I'm sure will change in the future, but for right now, some of the titles we searched for weren't available on the iPad. The other problem, I think, and this might also change with selection, is that there aren't very many featured titles. It's hard to discover titles through the iBook store, so the best way to buy books is probably to already know what you want to buy. Reading a book on the iPad can actually be very enjoyable. You can read it in landscape mode, in portrait mode, but again, the problem is that this is very heavy. You can't read with 1 hand because you need another hand to scroll. I personally like to read on the subway. This wouldn't work for me on the subway. But what it does work for, I think, are books that require illustrations or rich media. Textbooks are going to be great on this. You can click on a video right inside of the textbook, whether it's an instructional video or informational video. Children's books are also going to be great. You can scroll through illustrated books. The image quality here is really, really fantastic. So for something like that, it's perfect. Cookbooks, if you need, for example, demonstration of how to properly slice an onion or anything like that, I can imagine that publishers are going to start embedding videos into their iPad cookbooks. So for basic novel reading, I think this does have limitations, but for rich media books that are certainly going to come and become more popular in the future, this is a perfect device.